Hey, hey, happy Monday. It is Monday's market update with your favorite real estate cheerleader, aka your favorite Dallas realtor. And today we have our favorite commercial realtor. We have David. I know he comes on at least once a month, and it's that time again. And we're excited to have you, David. Thanks for
Yes.
always coming and willing to share your knowledge. Um,
hmm
you can take it away. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about development. So this would be developing a property, going from raw land to a building or a group of buildings, a neighborhood, something like that. And excuse me, as I mentioned, I'm not really going to focus on any particular product type or property type. This would just be if you want to develop, um, you have a project in general. These are the things that our team recommends you do as you get started.
And also, David, before we jump into everything, will you tell them a little bit about what you like, where they can find you, all the things? Hold on, let me see if I
Mhm.
can do this right. I'm gonna click you. Oh, that's me. So that wasn't right. I'm still getting better with this, dude. I'm
You
still
are. I'm
the
going to move
best.
this a little bit. So,
Let's do this. Add to the stage, and then I.
oops, messed that up. You still there, Kira? Hmm.
Yes, so go
Yeah.
ahead and
Okay.
tell them. Yes, I'm gonna jump off while you actually tell them where they can find you
hmm
and on social media, your information, and then we can start
hmm
jumping into the
Okay.
actual raw land.
Definitely. Yes. My name is David Dunaway. You can see it on the screen there. Probably the best way to find me on social is LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And talk to Kira quite often. So if you've got her contact information, certainly she can find me. My cell phone is 972-679-9845. Once again, 972-679-9845. Call or text anytime. And email ddunaway at KW Commercial. So ddunaway at KW Commercial.
So if you're on YouTube, I'll have all his information in the description, so you don't have to go too far. If you're watching this on another platform, oops, I have to go live on Instagram. I haven't done that. Oopsies. Okay, now we're live. Um, And if you will just get off of Instagram and actually go to YouTube, you'll find all of his information as well. So, all
Yes.
right.
Yes, I was on Saturday. I was on Instagram, and the Ohio State Nebraska football game popped up live on Instagram. So I guess they're doing college football now. So I watch it on YouTube TV usually. But anyway, yes. So I apologize. I think my allergies have been a little crazy lately. But
Same, same here.
you got it too. I know a lot of friends just with the leaves starting to fall and everything. But what I was going to talk about is development. This would be where you have a piece of raw land and you want to put a building on it. So it could be a neighborhood, residential, could be a duplex, could be multifamily, meaning apartment complex, retail center, etc. So really, at the start, a lot of the motion and the activities are the same. So I'm going to go over what we recommend as far as the process. And certainly would love to talk to anybody live and really get into your project if anybody's got one. So first of all, the idea is to create a team. You're going to go into this project and really create something like a artist with a blank canvas. You've just got all sorts of decisions to make. So what you need really is that team around you that's got experience. And some of those people would be good real estate agent, good attorney, probably a lender, bank or other lender, general contractor. Might want to actually just partner with a developer that would have all of that. But if you're going to be the developer, you would have a lot of this. The engineer, architect, and then probably an environmental company or environmental engineer. Because what you're looking for is just people that have all the aspects. They've been through it before. It just amazes me the skill and the pitfalls and all that development really requires. But the good news is it can be very lucrative if you're doing it as a business. If you're doing it for your own business, you get exactly what you want and can really make money, ultimately when you invest in it and sell it. So that's your team. Like I say, we can get this list to anybody that would like it. The next thing you need to do is really be in close contact with the city where that is. So whether it's Dallas, one of the suburbs, Fort Worth, et cetera, there's something called the ETJ. I don't know if you've heard that term, but that's pretty desirable for developers. It's extraterritorial jurisdiction. Basically means you're in the county. So if you're in the county, there's typically not any zoning. You can do a lot of what you want. Now, the downside of that is often there's no utilities and services out there. So it's a trade-off. But wherever you are, if you're in a city, you really need to go meet the staff, the planning and zoning team, and also probably the city council ultimately. So it's typically in that order. The staff works for the planning and zoning group or planning and zoning commission, and then they report to the city council. So you would often go in and say, hey, thinking about putting a little strip center on my land out here. And the staff is usually going to know, oh man, we tried that before, it got shut down, or oh no, the city really wants retail right there, really wants retail with kids businesses or whatever they happen to want. So the staff and the planning and zoning can really give you guidance on what they want in that particular location. Now, I have seen some cities that have very big ideals. They think they're going to be uptown Dallas or midtown Manhattan, and I won't name any names, but they're a small town in Texas. So some of them can be tough to work with. And I think if you want to get some bad words out of a developer, mention some of these cities. I mean, they're good people, but they can be a little tough to work with. And it's funny, Dallas always has had the reputation as being the toughest. I mean, we're a big city, a little more bureaucratic, but I've even heard that on some of the suburbs. They're just going to be pretty strict on things. So what you want to do is go to the city, try and understand what they want there and what you can actually build there. And then also, are they offering any incentives? Sometimes they will offer incentives, tax abatement typically, to get you to put a certain business in there. Obviously, Keyra and David's Bar and Grill is not quite as interesting to them as a Starbucks maybe, but you work with what you got. So you may have a bigger company behind you that you can really sell, or you're able to build maybe retail and the people at Velvet Taco or a sporting goods store, and you can bring them in. That would be really exciting to a city. So they can really help you. I don't mean to belittle cities. You'll see out there build to suit versus spec buildings. This is just like a house. So a home builder might build a spec house and hope somebody buys it, or he finds you and you tell him exactly what to build and they build it for you. So there's a number of build to suit folks out there, and this would be where you work with them as the developer. But throwing that out as an option, if you don't want to become a developer with all of the work that entails, there are people that'll do it for you, build to suit type builders. So as you go through the process, you're going to hit zoning with the city. Zoning can be changed. There's also things called special use permit, SUP, but obviously the path of least resistance is going to be going with that zoning with an approved use. So you can look up the zoning on the city website pretty easily. A few other things you'll find. Floodplain is a pretty big deal around here in North Texas because I chuckle, I'm from Memphis, where we get about 200 days of rain a year, like that much. And here, we get nothing and then 6 inches and nothing.
Yes.
So
very dramatic. It's like, I call it the bipolar weather is what we have.
We do. And you probably know under downtown Dallas, at least Turtle Creek, they've got these massive, not containers, what do you call them, cisterns or something under there just to catch that flood water. So we have flooding in Dallas. And what you have is it's pretty advanced. The engineers know raw ground will absorb so much water. And so when you go put a building on there with a parking lot, maybe a big roof, that suddenly is not absorbing, that is channeling the water somewhere. So you often have to put what they call a retention pond or a detention pond. And you'll actually see a lot of them out there. A lot of times they'll put a beautiful fountain in it and you just say, hey, cool, a fountain, but that's often to take the flood water and hold it until it can get to the sewer or maybe a creek. But you'll hear floodplain. You can also look up floodplain on the FEMA flood maps. They know what the 100-year flood is, the 500-year flood, and you have to plan accordingly. We don't have the topography necessarily of Austin. I know they have a big challenge there, but I've pitched land to developers, and it's this beautiful land in the middle has some huge canyon in it or something like that. So we have a little bit of that, like Cedar Hill in certain areas, Oak Cliff maybe, but we're pretty lucky up here that we do not have the topography. It's pretty, but for a developer, it's not easy to work with. Yeah, or you have to work around it. Soils and geotech, what they will typically do is do soil samples. And this is more of a problem in Austin where they have those caves and limestone, but you can build your building on top of a sinkhole. And I have a developer I work with, and they built an industrial building, and right on the edge was kind of a sinkhole, and it sunk. And it's a new building. They had to pump a bunch of concrete in and raise it up. So that obviously added cost and potentially made it tougher to rent out even. Finally, utilities. Yeah, if you go out to a piece of land, often there aren't utilities there. So you may have to have septic for your sewer, water and electricity, internet. I mentioned the ETJ. What a lot of times they will do, these cities want more users, more tax revenue hooked into their city. So oftentimes you'll go to the ETJ or the county and, hey, great, I don't have to do all these things with the city, but the city says, well, I'll hook you to our sewer if you come into the city, if we can annex you, or we'll get you water. So it's often a negotiation. But you can imagine if you have a plot of land and the utilities right here, yeah, man, I just hook everything up. But if it's half a mile away, trenching a, I don't know what, 6-inch water main is an expensive proposition. And the developer says, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, no, I like the fact that you said that, they give you incentives sometimes in the city, but even like thinking of it as, oh, dang, what was I going to say? I just lost my thought. Never mind. Keep going. I apologize.
I never do that.
It's been a long day. I'm like, I knew it was something good, but
I know. Yeah, I saw this thing online. It said, don't you hate on Fridays when you realize it's really Monday or something like that? So that'll blow your Friday.
That will ruin your
Friday. Utilities can be quite costly. And often, the landowner said, hey, great, city, I want you to do that. And the city says, no, I want you to do it. I would include roads there. You're going to have to figure out, is there a county road through your place? Do you have to hook to their road? And they call it ingress and egress. And you'd just be shocked. These, we're all going to strip centers, offices, et cetera. Just that little cutout to get to the road can often be a huge project. You got to call TxDOT or the city of, Dallas, Plano, et cetera. So there's just a lot of details. It's interesting to me, what is it? Water is easier than sewer to get done. So it's kind of counterintuitive in that sense, I thought. But those are big things. So you need to know about utilities. And then depending if you're wanting to be a developer or if you're planning to build for yourself, meaning for your own business, you need to understand, what competitors are nearby. I'm working with a pet company, a dog training company, and they're very attuned to, what other dog training companies in the area. So this could be a great location, right price, but man, there's a dog training company, half a mile away. So you as a business owner need to be aware of that, certainly. And then once you sort of get into that, we can help you start to run the numbers. So there's all sorts of things, household income, demographics, those are available, traffic count. Typically, tenants are going to want to be where there's good traffic count. Very high would be, LBJ freeway has about 250,000 cars a day. Something smaller would be, 20 or 30,000, just a smaller kind of, suburban road or something like that. So you want to know, what is your clientele? To go back to this dog training company, they really need the high demographics, high income. So they want like 125,000 household income, which is pretty high average. Frisco and some of the nice suburbs are right at that level, 125, 140 maybe. And as you're developing, you've got to be thinking, hey, I'm not really developing for today. I'm developing for 2 years out. I think you should probably plan, 14 months or so minimum to get a project, from owning it today, probably more, but the permitting, you've got to get a permit from the city, which goes along with the zoning. So what you want to be looking at is, hey, if I'm going to build it to lease it out, where do I think the population growth is going to be? What's around it? Try to predict what's going to happen in maybe 2 years. And if it's for your own business, you want to be saying, hey, what's my competition going to be like? What is, certain services and products I'm going to sell? What are they going to cost in 2 years, and try and make that guesstimate or estimate. But as
Makes
you can
sense.
see, yeah,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit to it. We work with a number of developers. They're very successful. Like I said, I'm just really blown away that people can put this together and take a piece of raw land to what they've done. So certainly I would love to talk to anybody that does it. And we've got experts across different property types. And Keyra knows where to find me, or like I say, on LinkedIn is probably the best, easiest, or ddunaway@kwcommercial.com.
Thank you so much, David. Yes, because I feel like I know I talk a lot about just residential real estate each Monday, but I really love making sure that I am making sure that everyone is fully equipped when it comes to commercial, because sometimes you buy residential and then you leverage that residential to go then buy commercial. That's the same
Mhm.
thing that my parents did. And
Yep.
so it happens more often than none. And I don't think people realize how much of a team it takes to do these
Yeah,
things.
it does.
And having a good attorney, like you said, a good realtor. There's so many people, and that's why it's very nice to work with people like you who've been in the business, who already
Mhm.
have those people that you
Yep.
can refer out to be able to give them a great experience. So I appreciate you, David, for coming and sharing your wisdom about the
Yes.
commercial real estate. What would you like to talk about next month, or we can kind of jump on that next time?
Let's see. Well, we've done industrial, we've done retail, we've done development and land. Let's do multifamily or apartments next month.
Ooh, I think that'd be great. It's going into like Thanksgiving time. We might,
No.
yeah, we might most likely skip December, because
Mhm.
December is just so full of festivities
It is.
that, but I think multifamily for Thanksgiving is so great, because so many people are going to have so much family in town,
Mhm.
and people don't realize that they can use multifamily and go buy a property together. Like it could
Mhm. Oh,
be
yeah.
full of families. So I think
Mhm.
that that's going to be great to talk about Thanksgiving time. So I appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. Oh, April says fourplex is commercial. No, so anything over fourplexes are commercial. So like apartment buildings, is that what you're talking about, David? Is a
Yeah.
fourplex commercial?
I believe 1 through 4 is considered on the residential contract,
That's what
and
I
then
thought
five,
too.
fiveplex, yeah, is commercial.
Correct. Yeah. So April, yeah, fourplexes are, oh, she says, I'm asking. Oh, yeah. So fourplexes are residential. And then
Mhm.
anything over fourplexes is commercial. So he'll talk more about like apartment communities. He'll talk more. Um, I don't know if it's not strip malls, because that's retail.
Right. It would be, multifamily is its own thing. Now, a lot of time we're going to mixed use, which would be the biggest is Legacy West, right? Apartments
Oh,
over
yeah.
retail with office. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah.
but
So it's a mix.
you're
Okay.
talking, and those are each treated separately, if you will, in the numbers. But yeah, I was talking about just multifamily if you want to either invest in that or buy one, build one, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, we're excited for it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
we'll see you next time. Bye,
Yay.
guys.
Good to
Have a
see you.
great
Happy
week.
Monday. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks, Kara. Bye
of
bye.
course. Bye.
Bye bye.